Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast, where we are highlighting all the athletes from the 2023 CrossFit Games semifinals. And with us today, we have Savannah Averitt. Savannah, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm really good. Super excited to get to know you. As I was researching you, we have a couple ties that I don't even know if you know about.
Okay.
So it's going to be really fun to get into this. But first and foremost, you're fairly new to CrossFit. You started in 2019 in the Open, unless there is another era that is in another name.
So my previous last name is Decay, and that's where I guess I started in 2013. But I haven't done all of the Opens, so I haven't been
Okay.
very involved in doing the Open every single year. So,
is this your first big time competitive year?
yes, yeah, it is.
Okay.
So
all the stuff before
semifinals.
this was.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say semifinals is only like my third individual competition, so it's gonna be fun, but
Yeah.
very nerve-wracking.
Why tread into the shallow end?
Yeah, exactly. Just go full speed ahead.
Yeah, there you go. And so up until this point, you were just kind of dabbling in the Open and doing CrossFit for fitness.
Yeah, so we've been moving around quite a bit, so jumping from gym to gym and just doing, class WODs and so but yeah, and then I've kind of like gone back and forth between doing CrossFit, stopping for a while, going back in, you know. So, but yeah, this is my first year doing it competitively, so.
So we have a comment from
Oh.
JL Riven. They don't call her Savannah the Savage for nothing.
Oh my god.
I probably butchered the name, but
It's Hiel, yes, I know who that is.
okay. Hiel?
Yes.
Okay. So I take it that's a friend of yours.
Yeah, she is.
Awesome. So last year you made it to quarterfinals and finished 245th in North America. So pretty good, but just not quite in that semifinal range. Was semifinals a goal last year?
No, not at all. And I mean, I hadn't even done quarterfinals before because I think they had just started it the previous year, and I had just had a baby. So, yeah, I just kind of was doing CrossFit that year, and then when the Open came and quarterfinals, it was surprising because I hadn't done a lot of the skills, regularly. So it was tough, but yeah, I was surprised by at least how well I did for not doing so much of that volume too that they had during quarterfinals was a lot.
Yeah, that was pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. 245th fittest woman in North America is a pretty nice tag to have. And then you won up it this year and you finished 43rd in the West. And so you're not even on like the cut line. You are solidly in the semifinals this year.
Yeah.
Was it a goal this year to get to the semifinals?
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. And last year just kind of sparked my interest in doing it because you know, I was close and I was like, well, if I just try, then maybe I could actually make it. So
And so that was kind of the wake up call when you did so well last year without really trying. It was kind of like, hey, maybe I could be really good at this.
yeah, yeah.
So what's the thought process when you finished quarters last year in the off season leading up to this season?
Just figuring out, I had a lot of weaknesses coming back into CrossFit again after I had my son, and just figuring out what I needed to do to get better at those. You're not doing the higher level skills when you're just going to class. Um, that you'll see a lot of the times, like I wasn't doing handstand walks and ring muscle ups and even bar muscle ups as much. Um, So really just trying to figure out, okay, what's my game plan for this year and how can I get to that next level and just uh, kind of carving out the time
Yeah.
for training.
With a son, I'm sure that balance is not the easiest.
Yeah, so it's been in waves. And I started taking him to the gym with me at like 4 months old. So, and that's when I kinda started back into CrossFit after, because with 2020 was a weird year, all the gyms were closed, and, that's when I was pregnant, so I wasn't going to CrossFit anyway. And then everything was kinda opening back up, once he was born, and then I started back, yeah, when he was 4 months, and then that's when I kind of got back hooked, um, spending so much time. But yeah, I've had to switch up my days a lot. Like, I was going in the morning or I was waking up early, and now he just comes up there with me in the afternoons and he takes his naps up there. So I have, like, a big chunk of time that I can spend training, um, without I mean, because he's only 2, so it's hard to keep a 2-year-old entertained and, focus on what I need to do, but that's what's been working for us, uh, and so we've just kinda had to change our routine. Yeah.
So I pull up your Instagram, and your son's name is Jackson. Got to give him his props too.
Jackson.
And so here you are working out, and he is walking right beside you and cheering mom on the whole time.
Yeah, he might have been whining for something at that point. But, yeah, it goes back and forth, between, he's wanting to watch and he wants my attention, so it gets challenging, um, trying to balance the 2, but that's what I've, you know, just always try to adjust because, you can't be set in your ways when you're a parent. Sometimes you just have to kinda go with the flow and go what works best for your schedule.
Yeah. So
So
what's really funny to me is I've become friends with Ariel Lowen. Last year during
mhm.
her last chance qualifier, she in the middle of her workout that was filmed for CrossFit, she's correcting her daughter as she's doing box jumps
Oh my
in the
gosh.
last chance qualifier. So
Yep,
mom strength is a real thing and it
it
does
is.
work.
It really is. Yeah, that's definitely somebody that I look up to, and like Annie Thorsdottir, just seeing them, and how successful they were in doing all of this with their kids is amazing to see. And it's really cool to see their progress too. Because you think sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna have a baby, it's gonna be distracting or like set me back. But really it's been kind of a big push.
And your friend Hael also says you've done all this while working full time.
Oh, no, I don't work full time right now. No.
Did you though up until this season?
Oh, no. I mean, I quit my job once I had my son, um,
Okay.
and I work very, very part-time. So I would not be able to do this if I worked full time, probably. That would be a lot.
Okay. So now is where I want to kind of get into the link that we have, and it's a very light link, and that is in this offseason, you had to think to yourself, I need coaching at this point, right? If I'm going to make a run, I've got to get somebody who can program for me and do things. And you are now working with Tristan
Yes.
and Tristan Parker for the audience. And where the link is we have been following Kelly Baker through the entire season this year, from the beginning of the Open all the way to wherever she ends. And I've interviewed Tristan as part of that series.
Yeah, he was telling me that yesterday, that you had interviewed with them. I haven't listened to it, but I want to listen to those and see, because it's really cool to see what they've done.
So you decide to go with Tristan. And what's amazing to me is here's a guy who really has no resume other than helping out with the team last year. And now he's got you on the roster, Hattie on the roster, Kelly on the roster, all who, like,
Mhm.
the other two and I have been friends for a little bit. Now I'm assuming we're going to become fast friends too because of this connection. Um, and he's taking you all to semifinals in his
Yes.
first season as truly an elite coach.
There's another girl too that's with him also, Madison.
Okay. And
I
so
don't
I'm not, is she in the West as well?
Yes.
Okay. So I just haven't got to her yet on the list. So she'll be coming.
Yeah, so all four of us.
That's amazing.
It is. Yeah.
Do you feel like you caught lightning in a bottle?
I mean, I'm excited. I was excited to work with him because, just feeling kind of stuck at a plateau in training. And I saw Kelly at a competition that I did. And then I saw, so the female and the male pro athletes and the team pro, I think they won third, but both of the female and male won first place. And so they were all coached by him, which is
And this
super
is this
impressive.
TFX?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And so just seeing that success, and I had talked to a girl that was on the team that he works with, and just kind of reached out to see if it was something I'd be interested in. Because sometimes you feel just kind of lost, like, okay, am I on the right track? I don't know what I'm doing at all. So just having some guidance and help.
Yeah, talk about blowing up a resume in about 8 months. Tristan
Yeah.
has went from helping with the team to now like one of the best resumes in CrossFit.
Yeah, impressive for him.
So so what has the difference been, and okay, let's back up. When did you first start with him?
I started right after TFX, so just
Okay.
like
So that
that
would have been
next week.
February-ish.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then what have you seen different in the few months you've been with him now that you didn't see before?
I think just like confidence more in my skills and not feeling injured. Because before, I was doing a lot of volume and really not knowing and not getting better at the things that I didn't have as much experience with. Um, so I mean, it's frustrating as an athlete just trying to randomly do those things whenever you haven't, built up to that point. And I was feeling kind of like broken, like was having some back problems. And so I haven't really felt that now, which is good. And just having somebody to talk to, kind of check in with, and make sure things, am I on the right track? Not doing blind training and just a bunch of volume for something that doesn't need to be done, and just making me tired versus, working on skills and things like that.
So last night we talked to Brent Fikowski, and he was explaining how he analyzes his movements because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, and this is his quote, volume is just a knob on your stereo.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And if you want to get better, you have to kind of dissect things and become more efficient at things.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means short-term sacrifices for long-term gains.
Mhm.
And so it sounds like that's kind of what Tristan is giving you, is that dissection of all of these movements. How do you become more efficient so that you
Mhm.
can do more in a workout?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think sometimes, like for me, I'm new to doing this. All I'm thinking is, oh, I have to do so much. And especially during the off season, like I think I could have done a little bit less. And I think it's just more about like building my strength up, like accessories and working on, weaknesses where I have these gaps that have set me back. Um, Instead of just doing all of these things that have just, crushed my body to the floor, because I think you just have this idea like, I need to do more, because you just think that it's gonna make you better, but it kinda
So
hurts
one of
sometimes in
the
the end.
reasons I'm asking is, how many PRs are you seeing? Because I did see something on your Instagram with your clean. I'm going to show it now.
Yes,
Um, and that you have PR'd your clean recently. Uh,
I did. That
with
was like
Tristan, are you seeing more PRs?
yeah, I think I got, like, 2 within not very long being with him, which before I had just kind of felt like I was going backwards on my strength training because I was just hurting so bad.
Yeah. What I love about this is you catch this clean and you just kind of sit there like I got this.
Yeah,
Like,
I sat there. That's what Tristan said too. He's like, "You paused at the bottom
yeah,
of it."
yeah, little pose at the bottom. Yeah. Look at my front rack. And then here we go. Up we go. Which I am so jealous of that front rack. I wish I had that mobility.
Come a long
But
way from what it was.
yeah, that is, it's just awesome seeing. So that kind of leads me into the next step. Like, you're starting this much later in life than the trend that's happening right now. Like, we have 16,
Yeah.
17, 18-year olds, and here you are. And forgive me if I'm revealing too much, but
No, it's fine.
so you're 30, right?
Yeah, I am.
And you're going into your first ever semifinals, and not just like squeaking your way in. You like kick the door in and you're coming. So I have to ask, is there any part of you going, man, I wish I would have found this sport sooner and not just dabbled?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I have that thought all the time, because I'm like, "Man, my body would feel so much fresher and, I could recover faster," but I just wasn't committed to it earlier on, or I was at times, and there was just so much life going on, like jobs and, moving, whatever, you don't it takes a lot to commit all your time, you have to sometimes miss out on things, um, or just, even during the day, there could be other stuff I'm doing, but, um, but I don't know, I'm really enjoying where I am now, and, I mean, of course, I wish I was 18 and feeling good and coming in on the top, but, I mean, you can't wish for what you can't go back in time, so
Yeah. And I don't know what your belief system is. I'm a Christian. I believe that God's time is not our time, and maybe this is just when it
exactly.
was meant to be.
Exactly, I think so, I mean, looking back at, like, what I was doing when I was that age, I would have never thought I was doing this, but it's changed a lot of things in my life, so I'm so grateful for it,
And
but
one of our listeners is saying Savannah looks like one of Charlie's Angels.
oh, thanks.
Uh, and so, with all of that, what was your background? Like, what was your athletic background coming into this?
So I did powerlifting in high school, and I did cheerleading in high school and college.
Like
So,
the tumbling type cheerleading?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like the all-star.
Mhm.
Okay. And that gives you great body awareness.
Yes.
It probably as
Yeah.
much as gymnastics.
It does. It helps a lot. Like as far as yeah, knowing where your body is and like knowing how to manipulate it on things. It helps a lot.
And that's essential when you're doing CrossFit.
I think so. Yeah.
So you talked about TFX. Um, I was there 2 years ago. I'm really sad I missed it this year because of all of the people I know that did so well there. Um, I'm just going to share a screen a little bit here again. But they're famous for their runs out into the field.
Mhm.
Looks like you're having a ball here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was it was wet and muddy and very scary to do that run.
Oh, and the next slide that you gave is a completely different look.
Yeah. That's actually how it was. It felt terrible,
Yeah.
and having those vests on was I mean, every breath you took, and mine was too tight, and I tried to adjust it in the very beginning, and my tag thing ripped off, so I was like, "Oh, crud. I'm just gonna have to deal with this thing pushing on my chest."
Well, and it's kind of like this filter, no filter, right?
Yeah,
Like those
exactly.
but yeah, I actually love TFX. It's a great competition. It's kind of a grassroots feel, but there's elite athletes there. What kind of confidence did that week or that weekend give you?
I wasn't even expecting to make, uh, that the pro level. I mean, I just kind of did it because I did it the year before with a team, and deciding to go individual this year, um, I was like, just wanted to do my best, and I think I might have made it because somebody dropped out, but still, because I think I was like the last person. So they took like the top 15, and I don't know how if like I tied with somebody, but I think there was like there was more than 15 of us there. I don't know. I don't know how I made it in there, but I did. Um, so it was really scary uh going in to that because I wasn't super confident with a lot of things. And I knew there was going to be a lot of skills um, that I didn't have as much experience on. And just like looking at the list of people that I was going to be competing against, I was like, oh gosh, but I just want to soak up all the experience that I can for this year. Because it's really cool to say even like compete against these people or do the competition period. Um, but I had been dealing with like some back problems before going in, so I was not very confident in just going through the workouts, practicing them. Did not feel very good. Um, but I mean, it went as expected for me. Um, just not having that competition experience and really not having much like knowing what to do, how to strategize my workouts. I just felt kind of blind going in. Um, but
You said earlier on in this show that semifinals will be your third in-person competition as an individual. So
yes.
TFX is two. What was
Mhm.
your first?
Duality is in San
Okay.
Antonio. Yeah. I mean, I did one scaled competition in like 2013, if you want to count that, but that was way back a long time ago. But and it was
So
also
it is
scaled, so
as big as duality is and as big as TFX is, neither of them are semifinals.
yeah, I know. It's gonna be it's gonna be a lot, but
Have you
I mean,
have you
I
looked at the leaderboard to see who you're going to be competing against and thought like, "Oh my gosh, I'm here now?"
yeah, it is a little bit like, whoa, how did this even happen? Just seeing, their names. But yeah, it's like it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I hope I get to meet some people that I look up to. So,
So do you feel like you can block out all of that when you get there and just be in your own lane, or are you afraid like you're going to go out too hot, or what are your biggest fears going into semifinals?
um, I mean, this year I've just or the since TFX because I was having that like mental battle of comparing myself to other people and things like that, but can't do that because this is they've been in my shoes before. They've been starting at this point and it's just totally different. So, I'm gonna just do the best that I can. And that's even what I have to do with my training to just kind of like blind zone because I know I'm not as experienced in certain things and all I can do is just try and get better. And again, I just want to take in the whole experience. Because I mean, and then even having Tristan, I think will help a lot. Because I'm not going to be by myself, and he's, helped people before, and then even Kelly's, has a lot of experience, and I got to meet her a few weeks ago. So I don't know. It'll just be cool. Just to be there. I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna be, like, shocked.
So you met Kelly. Kelly's one of the most down to earth people I've ever met. Like
She's really nice.
you wouldn't know she's an elite athlete when you talk to her. Like
Mhm.
she doesn't even put on those airs. One of our listeners, Wad Zombie, asks, "Have you ever met Ariel?"
No, but I want to, and I hope I can whenever we go to semifinals.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not one of those athletes that wants to be like in a zone backstage. She wants to
Mhm.
stay loose before she gets out, so she likes to
Yeah.
talk to people. So
Yeah.
she would be open, I'm sure, to you going up and saying hi.
I hope so.
She's the best. And so you met Kelly. Have you met Hattie or
I
is it
haven't.
Madison?
Madison is in Colorado. Um, so I met her she did TFX as well. So I met
Okay.
her there, but that was before either of us were with Tristan. And
Okay.
then Hattie I have not met yet because I think she was still gone. She went somewhere. I don't know where she went,
Yeah.
but
She was in
that's
Canada
what
when I talked
Tristan
to
okay.
her 2 weeks ago, maybe.
That's what
It all
yeah,
blurs
Tristan was telling
together.
me. Mhm. But I think she's back and I'm hoping to go down there soon. I just have to schedule the time. But it's fun to train. It was really fun to train with Kelly and just kind of push myself more because sometimes when I'm training by myself, I feel like I just kind of go through the motions. And I don't really have like this, competitive push of somebody
Yeah.
that's really fast. So,
So are you at an affiliate or are you in your
yes.
garage?
I'm at CrossFit Spragg.
Okay. And but you don't do the classes right now. You're doing what Tristan programs for you?
Only what Tristan programs, yes. Yeah.
And the affiliate's very supportive of that?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, cool.
I don't even think I could be doing what I'm doing without them. They're so awesome. I mean, the fact that I can take my son up there and he takes a nap in a room, is amazing. So and I just go up there in the middle of the day. So they've been super supportive, and I've known the owner for a while because I started again on and off CrossFit stuff, but I started there in like 2017. And my husband and I have been moving all over because he was in the Navy, so we moved from place to place for a couple of years. But every time we would come back here, we would always go visit Spragg. And so they've just been that's been like my gym home. and it pretty much is like my second home at this point. How much time I spend up there.
Is your husband still active?
No, he's not.
Okay. So you're like putting down roots now?
Yes. Yeah, we'll be here for hopefully for good.
And how does that feel after traveling so much?
Oh my gosh, it feels great, especially with, starting our family and our families are here. That's another thing. I don't know what I would be doing without their support either. I mean, even just this morning, my mom took my son and I could get all my stuff done so I could have the rest of the day to spend doing whatever I needed to do. So,
That's great. Um, a couple more things. I wanted to show your t-shirts that you have out for sale. And I don't know if it's still out for sale or not. Regardless, I
oh
want you to
yeah.
explain to me the logo. And so I'm
Oh,
going to
I have
pull that
no
up real
idea.
quick. You
uh, that is something that is the Ascend t-shirts, and
okay.
a couple people were asking me if I was gonna make t-shirts, and I'm not the creative type. So I saw that Kelly put her last name with the A, and so I was like, my last name would be perfect for that because it said Ascend on the t-shirt, and just changed
Okay.
it to Averett. But
And
I
so
don't
that
really
logo
know.
is a Sens
You'd have to
logo?
ask. Yes, you have to ask us, Tristan.
Okay. Because it looks like a boar's head inside of a heart.
I think it's supposed to be a pit bull. They say got that dog in him,
Okay.
but I don't really know. I don't know if that's like their saying
Well,
or
that
I'm
that
not
makes
really
that
sure.
actually makes more
Okay.
sense. So we'll go
Like
with that.
a fighter dog. So
Okay. Awesome. So that shirt, it looks cool. And I
yeah,
do
they are
like the
cool.
Ascend as your first letter in your name. It's perfect.
It works really well.
Yeah. And then one of the other things I saw on Instagram, what amazed me is, usually when I'm talking to someone who's making their first appearance to semifinals, like it's really hard to find anything that makes them like post like an athlete, right? But you have some stuff out there that you look like you've been a pro athlete your whole life. And
Oh
I don't know
gosh,
if
I
this was
don't know about that.
intentional, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it was beautiful. And so I just wanted to, and it is you doing muscle ups with this flashing light.
That is actually, I think I just took a slow motion video and the way that the lights were at the gym, it just kind of worked out. Somebody was asking me if I was using flashlights. I'm like, I was at the gym by myself and I just was recording my muscle ups and that's what I got.
It
So,
looks like an interrogate, like those light bulbs that hang from a cord in like in an
yeah.
interrogation room, and they
Oh,
like grab them and put them in the person's face. Like it looks like it's swinging as you're swinging.
no, it is
And it
just
was
the
like, it was
slow
the,
mo.
from an artistic standpoint, I just was like taken aback by it. It looks so cool. That
Thanks.
part right there.
It was a cool mistake, I guess, to make.
Yeah. I just um I just finished my first like full length documentary a couple weeks ago. And so now I look for like those types of things and what I can do to make my stuff better. And I was like, dang, that looks amazing.
Well, try a slow motion video and maybe it'll help. I don't know. I'm really not sure how that happened.
But yeah, it looks amazing. And it makes you look like a pro athlete.
Thanks. I don't have the people taking my content for me like most of those people do. So
Yeah. Someday. Someday.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So to recap this year, it's all about having fun, soaking it in, learning all you can at semifinals, and just having a ball.
Yeah. I mean, I I want to do the best I can. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win here, but just it's really cool to go and compete against some awesome people, and I can't wait to, just be there and say I did it too. I've put in so much time and effort into this, and it's just really cool to see all the work pay off. Um, I mean, even going into quarterfinals, I was like so nervous. Just, because you don't have the leaderboard to look at like you do in the open. You kind of have a direction of where you're going. And so in the quarterfinals, it's just like you gotta do what you can to make it, and you have no idea.
Yeah,
So,
that was the biggest wake up call for me doing that documentary. I followed a
oh
masters
yes,
athlete
hmm
through their quarterfinals. That blind leaderboard sucks.
yes,
Like
it
it
does.
creates so much anxiety that you cannot believe.
Yeah, you're sitting at your phone waiting for the results to come out, and you're like, "Is it good enough?" I would get done with my workouts, and I would text Tristan immediately, like, "Here's my time." And of course, he has the other athletes there, and that was a really stressful week for me, just doing it alone too. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad that part is over.
Um, so Tristan's your coach, but he only needs one coach's pass and he's got all these athletes. Are you able to take someone else with you?
I don't know. I didn't realize that we got a coach's pass.
Yeah, every athlete gets a coach's pass. And because
Well,
he has
that's
four
something I didn't
athletes, he only
know.
needs one of them.
I think he has more too. He just got a male and the team.
There you go. Like
So
he doesn't need
he's just
put
taking
him around like
maybe
yeah,
he'll
every
just put
athlete
him
gets
on as
one
a
coach's pass.
collection. Okay. I mean, I don't know if anybody from my gym is gonna be coming, honestly. So I don't know. I think
Family?
it's just kind of up in the air. My husband will be there, and then I have some friends and my previous coach from my gym in Arizona, in Yuma, Arizona, and so a lot of them are coming just because it's really close to drive. So that'll
Would
be
your husband
exciting
be
to
a good
see.
coach's pass person?
Yeah, he would love having a coach's pass, I think.
Yeah, we
Make
talked
it
to a
exciting.
lot of athletes like they like to have someone back there that keeps them calm or loose
Yeah.
or whatever their need is. And
hmm
sometimes the spouse is not the right person for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure because he's never been there with me. I mean, at TFX, he was asking to go back with me, but I'm not sure. He would probably try and act like my coach, though.
Yeah, getting like push Tristan out of the way. No, you got to
Yeah,
do.
he'd be like, "I think you need to do this." He does tell me that stuff sometimes. I'm like, "What?" Okay. But he's my biggest fan, so I don't know. I might have to let him come back there.
Yeah, us husbands don't know the line.
That's
We
okay.
step over it all the time.
It's meant to be stepped over by you guys.
Yeah, when my wife and I work out together, we have to be like on separate ends of the gym.
Yes. Yeah, we are the exact same way. I can't work out with him. We can't be partners.
No.
I love him very
Our
much,
our coach
but we are so
our
different.
yeah, our coach forced us to be partners a couple times. I don't think we finished any of those workouts.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I am ultra competitive. She is not competitive at all. And like it's like oil and water. And usually I get a jump rope thrown at my head or
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think when my husband and I first started dating, and he was actually the reason why I started going back to CrossFit because he was really into it when we first started dating. And he was also very competitive with me, and I got to put him in his place. So he knows better now.
does he do CrossFit now?
He does, yeah. He goes to the same place as me. So, but he goes at different times.
Yeah. And and he does like the class workout or
Yeah, he does class.
yeah. Because you're the pro. He's just the The guy showing up for class.
Yeah, he's the guy showing up for class and trying to, be my coach, but
And you just do the humble brag flex.
yes.
There you go. Well, Savannah, this has been a blast getting to know you. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. Can't wait to see you in Pasadena. We'll be there covering the event.
That'll be really fun.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to meet in person, because I'll be covering Kelly that whole weekend, and Tristan along with that. So I'm sure our paths will collide.
I am sure of that. Well, it'll be really great to meet you, and thank you so much for having me on and asking me all these questions. It was cool. So
Well, thank you. And hopefully we get to do it again next year.
awesome.
And
Thanks so
everybody in
much.
the crowd, thank you so much for being on with us today. Thank you for the comments and the questions. And with that, we'll see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast.